through a confluence of ideas, we pivot towards a luminary beacon of technological prowess, NTT, a cloud transformation partner, and a global titan in technology services, who will unravel the sagas of strategic brilliance and innovation in the cloud domain. Prepare to be immersed in a nexus where technology embraces vision and groundbreaking narratives are woven with practical acumen. Let's welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Girish Sharma, Director, Service Offer Management, Head of Product Management Cloud Services from NTT. With a round of enthusiastic applause, he will be presenting on digital transformation leveraging hybrid cloud. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Girish Sharma?
So, once again, very, very good evening, you all. And I hope I'm very much clearly audible till there, right? We had amazing sessions today. So, thank you so much, SME Ventures. We had amazing session on women in tech and startup and digital natives. And it was so wonderful to listen to all the stories, perspectives, and experiences. Now, we are really very pleased to be part of sponsoring this event along with SME Ventures. And I'm also going to share with you our stories, experiences, and the people we have met on the journey. So we started in 1998 in India from a very small garage. We started doing our managed IT services from there, and when I look back nearly 25 years, today we are one of the world's leading data center player. So a lot of experiences on the way, having served 3,500 plus large enterprises across India, we have really learned and grew from what we were doing only on the mainframe systems to what we heard in the sessions today, right? Somebody was talking about algorithm as a service, and that's fantastic to hear. We were just doing the mainframe systems and Unix, and we were doing the IT management around that, and today we are talking not only about containers, but almost no code and low code. So let me actually introduce to you that digital transformation has really accelerated, especially in the post-COVID era. Everybody's talking about cloud and digital transformation and really talking about very, very simple things. It is all given. Now, very, very simple thing that I can put a little method to what and all has been discussed today. And it is all about sharing our experience on the way. We know many benefits which cloud does present. Right, we heard from so many speakers, some spoke about the scalability that they can leverage, some spoke about how fast they can innovate. And these all things are given now, right? Even the modernization of your infra might be one of the requirements that you are looking at, but whichever the execution value you are looking for in cloud, those all benefits have now gathered together, right? But what we are seeing right now is, nearly 80% plus organizations don't have one cloud. They have more than one cloud. Again, I was just listening all the panel discussions and they were amazing. Somebody spoke about multi-cloud, somebody spoke about hybrid cloud. And we are increasingly seeing that no more the discussions are around cloud. They are absolutely around use cases, right? So I told you about experiences. I was talking to a very senior guy from APAC and based out of Australia, and we were talking about how we helped a leading bank in India, benchmark their UPI transactions, right? So he shared with us that, when I look at the banking apps in India, you have so many services, right? The reason is, of course, we have huge volume, our banks are opening nearly 1,200 branches in a year, right? The bank we were talking about. And when I looked back, he was telling that over the next 20 years, their bank has opened 1,200 branches, right? So that's how fast we were going. And I'm sure you all are very proud of that we are a leader in digital payments across the world, right? And we as entity, we support multiple fintechs, and we understand, how their cloud experiences varies from one fintech to another, the kind of customers they cater to, the kind of, challenges which come on board, right? So many people have different needs. And even, what seems a very attractive avenue right now might not remain for the IT organizations. Why? Because our business is dynamic. With every change in consumer behavior, with every change in business scenario, we are seeing a movement, right? So to tell you a very simple thing, we served the mainframe systems, we managed them. After that, came the era of x86 proliferation, and we supported them. Then the virtualization came, and then public clouds came, then hyperscale clouds came, right? So now with every change, we observe that people want to migrate to cloud for their own reasons. Maybe for they want to innovate faster, right? Maybe they want to have a landscape which is very agile. Some people want to have a reduced TCO, and which is absolutely okay, right? Even now, we are all focusing on sustainability goals, right? So how are you addressing sustainability as an important perspective across? But while helping organizations, you heard a lot about cloud adoption. What we feel that even despite cloud adoption, I think very clear learning, if even it was voiced in today's discussions, that cloud is not, it doesn't save you cost, right? Because that's not the goal. Maybe scalability is the goal, but not the cost saving. But besides that, there are many challenges which might come across, right? If you don't have proper visibility and governance, you can see that nearly cloud cost has become a challenge for nearly 51% of the organizations, right? So cloud cost can run over your budgets. I was talking to one of the leading media houses, and they finished their entire year's cloud budgets in nearly 4.5 months, right? So, when you really have such a big cloud sprawl, it brings many challenges. Uh, Nearly $30 billion plus is wasted in idle resources in 2022. So you can see that it is not cloud as an execution venue. There are new challenges which have come up, right? How do you improve your utilization? How you really stay lean, agile, and still you innovate faster, right? How do you manage your cloud expenditures, right? There are many challenges. So nearly, I was talking to another media house in India, and we were helping them in their cloud journey. And they told us that the paying consumers in India have grown suddenly by 38%, right? But with this innovation, the big challenge which has come is how do you experiment with the new content with these users? Because every consumer acquisition has a cost, right? If you are into cloud as an avenue, and that customers might not be very loyal, because we all want to experience new content. How do you actually leverage any cloud execution venue in an efficient way so that you can be agile at the same time control on your cost, right? So there is a huge market, but you want to try with your consumers. So many challenges, and we at NTT Data, our name itself has data, and we really understand that how big it is. Not only our name has data, we nearly have 45% of the world's traffic running on our network. Not only our name is data, we nearly run 60% of the world's credit card transaction on our own systems, right? So, we really help people discuss on a lot of fronts, like what is the cost of the cloud, right? We help them manage multiple complexities in a multi-cloud world, right? To give you an example, we were talking about helping a global system integrator whose data is spread across the globe, across multiple projects, and they were hit by a ransomware, right? We heard about so many security incidents, but when you have got such a big data sprawl across multiple clouds, across multiple locations, across multiple projects, and you want to have a uniform visibility, governance, and even control, right? You're hit by a ransomware, you need one copy, you need second copy, or you need an air gap copy, right? It's a complex cloud solution which you will have to be ready with, right? And at NTT Data, we help people emerge with such challenges. How do you overcome? We deal SAP HANA, of course. SAP HANA is a big word in the world of ERP. They control a major stake across the enterprise resource planning, and we as NTT Data are also synonymous with SAP deployments in multiple continents across the world, right? How do we help businesses innovate, in this multi-cloud avenue? And how do we protect and respond to increasing number of threats, right? So security is a posture which we heard from Ms. Ray. She really shared a lot of perspective on cloud security. but how do you set the right type of security posture? That's what we help. In the entire cloud journey, we really start in a very hybrid way, right? Rather than thinking of one cloud avenue, right from consulting and knowing where do you want to go. You heard the startups, they have a different requirement. I'll talk about large enterprises. They have entirely different requirements, right? The requirement might be as simple as creating a landing zone. We heard about a policy orchestration. You have a new application deployment, you have a new infrastructure deployment, but you want to have a uniform policy, right? It is such a simple task, but you really need experts who can control. You need your CISO organizations who can really monitor and audit. And that's where NTT has been helping larger enterprises. How do you design and migrate to your choice of cloud avenue? How do you build and build that environment? You run and optimize. No more it is about running cloud, but how are you continuously optimizing, right? When I'm talking about moving to any of the hybrid cloud, one thing comes about that even migration might have multiple paths, right? Nearly now we use 8R strategies, where you can rehost or you can retire some of the legacy infrastructures, you can do the replatforming, you can do the re-architecting, So we help organizations right from, rebuilding their entire cloud journey to re-architecting their applications. We heard about modernizations, right from data modernizations to infra or application modernizations. That's where the direction of cloud is moving. Let me give you an example of hybrid cloud services and the challenges that we are helping solve the enterprises out there, right? We in India, we run 6 different type of cloud services as managed cloud service provider. We in India have been running since 2009. We were the first Indian cloud service provider to have launched our own in-house developed cloud orchestration layer. And then we have been running that as SimpliCloud brand, called as our own public cloud brand with 5 availability zones in India. We did run Simply Virtual Private Cloud for our customers who were actually very attracted to private cloud. So this is an interesting story that we are seeing repatriation as a big wave across India, right? So people are repatriating back to private cloud because cloud burn or cloud cost is a major concern for a lot of organizations out there. We did run private cloud services for especially the BFSI sector, which wants to leverage a lot of services from cloud, but in a segregated way. Then we did work with all hyperscalers in migrating from one to other, in designing and deploying and defining the security posture across Google, Azure, and AWS. And what we observe that, it is the imperative need of the hour that we all orchestrate the entire hybrid cloud service, where we are migrating from one avenue to another, because the right execution venue for a startup might be different, for a large enterprise might be different. For a leading bank in India, they are consuming more than 300 plus applications on an average. And each application finds a different cloud avenue. And still we have a uniform policy orchestration. So the challenges are like, how do you give managed services across all of them? For example, can startup have skill set across all of them? Can they manage skill sets in a 24/7 system, or will they need some managed service provider with an experience to handle any kind of incidents? And I should not undermine the managed security service here, which we provide across all cloud server environments, because you see the cyber threats are rampant, right? Individual consumers have become more aware. We heard in today's discussion that we are much more aware than where we were. And at the same time, the number of attacks have gone haywire, right? Every month we at NTT, our security experts, we publish a monthly threat intelligence report because we control a big chunk of data across the world, which flows through our network. We create a report across kind of threat vectors that we see across the globe, and we compile it, and our practitioners come together because we sit very close to IT organizations, right? And their challenges is what we have to solve and constantly engage with. And that's what I was saying about the experiences. Data protection and data resiliency. In hybrid cloud services, one more avenue that you have beautifully is, we heard about many regulators have come back with new adoption framework. SEBI has announced, you heard in July 2023, a new cloud adoption framework. And, We not only host multiple people from BFSI, we rather run software as a service for algo traders, out of our own cloud services. And that's where we come into play with all these regulators defining the new cloud adoption framework, and we align with them. Data resiliency. So for example, you might have your primary in, say, NTT SimpliCloud, right? But you want to have a disaster recovery site in altogether your own data centers, vice versa. What if you want to have your primary in one of the hyperscalers and you want to have a DR site in NTT's local cloud services? While you want to have no vendor lock-in, you want to optimize on your cost. At the same time, you want DR orchestration also as a managed service, right? So this is a new world of hybrid cloud services, which actually helps the digital transformation in the right way, right? Of course, we heard about the data. So data modernization, we heard about data monetization, but data analytics as a high performance workload is picking up. So at NTT, we always embraced an approach where our enterprise customers are not logged into one form and format of cloud. Rather, they are open to innovate. We heard about connectivity becoming so rampant, right? That's an important thing. For many of our customers, how we do is databases, which are high performing databases, are running out of our data center, while application layer is totally sitting in the public cloud services with us. You can actually scale up your application clusters on demand, right? We help many startups across India, and we are very blessed. Many of the leading e-commerce platform which we hear today, they started with us as very small startups. Many of the gaming companies in India that you hear a lot about in the ads, they started with us, as a very small startups, right? And we have seen their journey, and that's where it's an experience. I was talking about so many stories that how we have changed the world, and that's where we propose an hybrid cloud story for our customers, right? You know, all our client experiences we have gathered together as a very standard practice. We have been modernizing multiple infrastructures. I gave you an example of multiple applications. There are critical banks in India where we manage end-to-end setup in a multi-cloud environment. Right, security is given, and we run 24/7 security operations center, because whatever digital transformation you are going through, the few things that you cannot now avoid is to have a right kind of security posture across the multiple avenues of cloud. At times you need to have a uniform security posture. That's also very important. I was talking about many of the banks might have different security requirements for different applications, and that's absolutely fine. But at the same time, you might want to have some policies which are uniform across the entire landscape. We have done a lending zone creation where we are encompassing multiple hyperscalers as well as private cloud with a uniform policy orchestration, so that everything goes through the same channel of policy orchestration, right? So in this world where cloud has been changing, we have been advising and managing and securing such environments in hybrid cloud services, and that's what the experience I wanted to share with you today. So, with the cloud so rampant, it is so much easily available to all of us to innovate further. It has become a journey where we help right from small startups to the large enterprises. We advise them, we help them modernize to the right venues without getting logged in or consulting on a particular type of cloud avenue. It's more about the right fit avenue, right? We manage such environments wherever they cannot manage on their own, or it is not the right efficient model to manage on your own. And finally, we secure and run these environments for them, right? Our experience really of our own public cloud services spanning across 700 plus large enterprises in India. We have seen many, big billion day sales on our own platform, right? And that experience has actually helped us understand and sit close to the IT organizations when they were transforming, right? We enabled many hybrid cloud initiatives, and right at the design, we designed our own clouds to be hybrid in nature. I gave you an example that somebody who wants to sit on a private cloud and he wants to scale in our public cloud, he's able to do it. Some people who have got their databases sitting in our cloud layer but have got application layer sitting in hyperscalers, we have been enabling right from end to end, managing right from our data center infrastructure to the hyperscaler infrastructure in a single layer, while also providing the connect between the two, right? Visibility, governance, and optimization has become a core now, right? We are talking about FinOps. I don't know if it was discussed, at least not in the last two sessions, which I saw here. But we see that now increasingly with the larger enterprises out there, they need to have much tighter controls because the cost optimization is also one of the avenues. You would have heard of a lot of stories about repatriation, a lot of stories about cloud burn. So that's where visibility, governance, and control on cloud avenues itself has become an important perspective, and we are helping there. A diverse technology landscape, right? For example, you want to automate the deployment of your infra, might be a simple thing for you, but we heard about the API securities as well today, right? So how the entire landscape is communicating across these multiple cloud avenues, and how are you securing that? From a compliance perspective, right from RBI to SEBI to multiple regulators, specific to pharma as well, we see multiple compliances are changing, right? So we follow uniform guidelines across the hybrid cloud environment, sticking to multiple compliance standards which enterprises can consume readily, right? Because we do carry out all these compliances, keeping in mind that the idea is all our IT enterprises have to leverage this standard process framework in the given cloud consumption, right? It is not only about, as I said, only about cloud or cloud avenues, which can be multiple. It's also about how are you having the real-time insights, how are you optimizing it, and how are you ready to migrate when your business environment changes, right? What was very popular as a business yesterday might not remain popular today. So, you will have to bring down or retire a lot of applications, or you will have to change the posture. I gave you certain examples from the media industry. The consumer's taste is changing, right? So how fast you can actually innovate your content or come out with new kind of, consumer engagement for the paying consumer base. So that's where, we bring out a lot of insight platform, which is not only sticking to one cloud, but multiple clouds together. Uh, you know, when you are doing multi-cloud together management, it really gives you a single point of visibility, governance, and control. You should be able to see your cost outflows, which is an important thing. And beside that, many of the compliance reports can also be automated, right? That's one of the benefits nowadays, that rather than you doing a lot of tasks manually, there might be, set of experts who can really help you perform these things very easily. So although we have many stories, but some of the stories which we talk about, I spoke about how the digital payments are actually making the big wave across the world, and it has a second benefit, that whatever we are learning here from such a large mass, we are replicating to other continents. Our fintechs are going out of India, and I'm so happy that when they are going out of India, we are still able to cater to their cloud requirements from here in India. We were helping a large fintech which has done all his DevOps with us on open source Kubernetes, bringing down the cost of development to bare minimal. And after that, when they really want to go production with a European bank, they are going for OpenShift on a cloud service with us and giving them the right kind of production environment. So you can see that entire life cycle, right from conceptualizing the product or doing the demo to the customer at the right cost, to having the right kind of execution venue. We saw that it needs a lot of infrastructure requirements on the play, but we work together on such use cases, and that's the engagement that I think hybrid cloud services can actually bring for people, right? Rather than locking you into any particular form and format of cloud, a hybrid cloud is how do you leverage for the relevant use cases cloud in a very, very optimal way, right? And that's where at NTT, of course, our experience of being a leading cloud provider is because of our customers. Their stories that we shared. As I mentioned about a lot of startups we started in India, and with our own coverage, we have 5 grids in India that we operate across all metro cities, but we support multiple avenues for multitude of customers. Right, we have the largest data center footprint in India, catering to multiple enterprises. We had our own security company, and now we operate 24/7 security operation centers because cloud and security go hand in hand ultimately. Many strategic partner relationships that we carry in the market, it might be right from giving a technology solution to one customer or integrating his private cloud along with our public cloud, right? So use cases might be different for different kind of enterprises who come to us, right? And we enjoy a global service delivery network at our own places, but at the same time, we respect a lot of data localization, right? We are certified by MIT to run multiple clouds in India, and we ensure that we run multiple public missions in India on our own cloud, right? But also on this note, I think one beautiful story, we did run Man Ki Baat for a long time, with us, and that has been one of the programs. Similarly, we help multiple smart cities across India orchestrate the public services from our cloud, right? Not only this, in multiple clouds you really need multiple skills. I collected some of the examples of how our skilled people were working, right from developing an automation using Ansible, or developing, writing some Terraform scripts for people who wanted to sit in a landing zone creation for a multi-cloud environment, or some people who really wanted an O365 support with a particular data protection architecture, right? We carry a multitude of skill sets because it is no more about one cloud. It is nowadays about entire transformation using a hybrid cloud strategy. And we at NTT have been helping multiple customers do the same thing using our own public cloud grids, and as well as using our entire framework of operating in a multi-cloud environment. So that brings me to an end of this session, and again sharing some insights that I feel that cloud has become very easy and available for right from startups to large enterprises. At the same time, bringing a lot of challenges around security, data protection, which avenue to go, and how do you change when business environment change. And that's where we, as NTT Data, we are actually sharing our experiences and changing environment along with our customers' use cases. On that note, thank you so much. You have been wonderful audience today. Thank you.